You're welcome back. It's still the breakfast on Plus TV Africa, and we are now going to talk about something really important. And now that subsidy has been removed on premium motor spirit, PMS, or petrol as they call it, there is this jostle for right pricing of electricity also, and this may have triggered a major shift in the pattern of energy consumption, with about 75% of households now exploring solar as the alternative sources of energy. There was a survey, a multidimensional survey conducted to assess Nigerians' response to almost 200% increase in the pump price of PMS, and it revealed that the majority of households are planning to embrace solar energy, even as service providers are contending with a surge in requests for low-capacity utilization equipment. Today, we want to look at this if there's going to be a possibility in the first place. We know that we have a lot of sun, so the source of this solar energy is not a problem. But how do you get it to your house? Well, we have a public affairs analyst that has just joined us. Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo is here with us. Wisdom, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me. Hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Well, like I said, there's a lot of sun. You know, some people say if you put an egg in your car and you wind up and leave it in the sun, when you come back, the egg is cooked, probably. Well, is that good or that bad, depending on where you stand? But this thing about alternative sources of energy, using solar energy, is it possible in our country, Nigeria, given the economic situation and everything around it? Do you think that is a possibility in the nearest future, or if not now?
Well, thanks for that. The truth is, at the moment now, with what is currently happening, if you want peace of mind, the best option now for you to solve your power problem is to actually switch to solar. I mean, we have sun in abundance in Nigeria, and I don't see any reason why this should not be an option for us. Even in countries where they barely see sunlight, I mean, they are harnessing solar energy, in a very amazing way. So I don't see why Nigeria, with what we are going through, we shouldn't be able to do the same. So, but truthfully, we have no other option now. With the cost of fuel going above 200% at the moment, if you use a generator in your house now, I mean, you are a very big man. You are a big man, and I mean, the people in the last mile cannot afford it at this point. But the sun is free. The sun is free. You don't pay for the sun. As long as there is sun, with solar energy, you're going to have power. So why not? Why not? So I think it's very doable. It's very possible. Already the Electricity Act signed by President Tinubu, I mean, like I shared in earlier episode of the show, a chapter was dedicated to renewable energy. It means we are beginning to get serious to leverage sources like solar, wind, hydrogen, and the rest of them to see how we can have alternative sources of energy. But trust me, if you want to have peace of mind now, and if you really want to reduce your costs of power, I mean, to use funds for other things in the house, you have to switch to solar. You really don't have an option. And maybe
Yeah, but
issue as
everybody wants the peace of mind. But can your pocket give you the peace of mind that you want? That's the question now. Because getting solar panels, getting the inverters, getting whatever you need to get, how affordable are these things right now? And if they are not so affordable, is it a problem of the people or the government? What needs to be done? Because it doesn't seem affordable. Otherwise, everybody will switch over.
Well, I disagree with you. In a way, look, we've heard this thing for so long, and it's a myth that needs to be demystified. Look, solar, and I will tell you practically, the cost of solar or the cost or you want to incur using solar depends on what you want to power. So a woman in a rural community who only has some lighting points and just need to charge her phone, she doesn't need to spend ₦1 million on solar. So depending on what you want to power, will now affect the cost of what you're going to spend for the power. And be it as it may, even if you spend up to ₦1 million to set up your solar energy system now for your house, look, your solar panels will last you for 20 years. Your batteries, if you get the best of them, will last you for 7 years. The cost of fuel in the last 7 years, I mean, we have gone up more than 4, 5, 6, 10 times. But you see, when you acquire this solar, I mean, in the next 7 years, 5 years, you're still using the same energy, solar energy system, and your cost hasn't even gone up. So, I mean, the economics is pretty clear. For example, let's do this calculation so you know how clear it is. I don't know how much you spend on fuel a day for those who use a generator, multiply that amount by 365 days, so you must multiply it by 1 year and look at the cost. So if you spend one million naira, for example, to acquire a solar, let's see, that's in 1 million naira to buy fuel. So break that amount down, spread it across 12 months, and let's say you're paying for it, for a day. So let's say you spend about 9 or 4,000. I don't know how much you spend in a day. Multiply it. Now you see that what you spend for this year for your generator set is going to be different from next year. So it might double that cost. But if you spend that 1 million naira to set up your solar home system for your home, the next year you're not spending that same cost.
Yeah, but wisdom, you see the difference between that and what I'm saying is that, okay, granted, you might even spend 2 million on electricity, on power in 1 year, and solar will give you the opportunity to spend maybe just 1 million naira. But how many people in Nigeria who want to switch over to solar energy can afford 1 million naira at a go? It's the same problem like, you know, having house rent to pay that the government was trying to do the other time and say pay monthly because some people cannot afford the bulk sum at the same time. So it's the same problem of bulk funds. So if these bulk funds were there, a lot of people would do it. But can we?
Okay, so I will tell you what players are doing in the sector. Look, there are financing options. You don't have to pay upfront for these things.
Good. That's information we need to know.
Yeah, so some companies do pay as you go. Some companies do lease payment. Some companies do outright payment. It depends on what you want. So look, and there are solar home systems that even cost as low as 30,000 naira, 35,000 naira that can charge your phone. Charge some lighting points in your house. You don't need to get any big. There are systems as low as 200,000 naira, 300,000 naira that you can buy that can power your laptop, your TV, depending on what you do. But the point is, what is in the system now is, which a lot of companies are doing, is they are giving financing options. Yeah. And a lot of institutions are already supporting these financing methods for many companies, and to make sure it gets to the customer. So you really cannot, like the system I got for my own house. I didn't pay upfront. I didn't pay everything at a go. The payment was spread across a period of time, so I paid in installments. And at the end of the day, the system is mine today. And I don't have to go back again to begin to buy. I've not used generator in my house for the longest of time. So the point I'm trying to make is there are financing options. In Nigeria, this whole mentality of we need to buy everything at a go, we have to take it easy with us. In other standard climes, people buy things using mortgage, buy things in installments. In Africa, we want to buy everything outrightly all the time. When we don't have the
wait, let's get it right. Is it that we want to buy everything outrightly, or we want to sell everything outrightly? Because this thing you're saying, I'm not sure it's to the people. If you have a system where, like we say, pay small, it's acceptable, a lot of people will jump on it and do what they need to do. But the people who are selling, how many of them are ready to accept this? So you really should be talking to them, not us.
So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. If you're in the clean energy business or solar energy business, and you don't have financing options now, then I don't see what you're doing there. So a lot of the companies I know who are selling some of these products, they always have the financing option. It's available everywhere. You don't have to pay upfront for everything. And these companies understand this, because if you're waiting for an ordinary Nigerian or the customers to be able to raise this money upfront, then they will not be able to meet up to do that, looking at the economic challenges we have. So these companies understand this. So they are financing options spread across. You pay in installments for a system you want. And me for one, I have been connecting a few of these customers to the companies. It's what I do. And I know that there are financing options for them, and they have been leveraging this. So the point you are making, and let us get it clear first of all, is solar works. Solar is the best alternative and options we have now.
Too, yes.
Solar is what we cushion the effect of what we are feeling now, economic-wise, for a lot of people. And solar also is a cleaner option for our environment. We need to begin to keep the environment clean. It's renewable, and so it is the best fit to keep the environment clean for us now at this time. Those gensets have not been helping us. We are facing a lot of climate issues, environmental issues. Those gensets pollute the environment. So it is not helping us, but solar is a cleaner option and best alternative at this point. If the issue is affordability, there are affordable options that can work for every single person.
It's good information. It's good information that you put out there, that there's a plan, there's a financing plan for a lot of companies. They give this. But you said one section of this electricity bill was dedicated to renewable energy and all that. But what specific policy would you want to see from the present administration, for instance, that will give people the leverage, that will give people this opportunity to access this solar energy so much? I hear NNPCL has said that they're thinking about putting some charging points for electric cars in their filling stations and all that. Okay, that is a welcome thing. That is government doing something. But what particular policy do you think will drive the process of people acquiring this solar energy, this renewable energy that we so desire in Nigeria?
What the federal government can do is really make available incentives. Some of these solar products, because we have not been able to, at the time now, produce a lot of it in country or manufacture a lot of it in country, they are mostly imported. And what is really increasing the cost, for some of these companies in this product into the country. So I think what federal government can do is policies that drive a lot of incentives for these companies, tax incentives, import incentives. It should not take a hula balloon to clear my solar products at the ports. And then in the long run, federal government should work around how do we begin to manufacture some of these things? Because when we produce these things in country, when we are able to have a lot of solar manufacturing factories, a lot of solar assembly factories in country, we are going to reduce the cost. So if the solar panels are produced in country, if the batteries, the components, the charge controllers, and all those things that make up the solar components, solar power components, if they are manufactured and produced in country, we will drive down that cost for more than nearly 50% for the customers themselves. So a lot of policies I want to see, and which I see that the new Electricity Act, a bit of it is driving that policy-wise, championing a lot of renewable energy mix in our power and our electricity components and all of that. So I look forward to state governments as they implement the Electricity Act in their various states. I want to see how they are supporting renewable energy sources, especially solar, in the energy mix in their various states. You see how they can build mini grids, and all of that. That can also reduce the weight on the grid, which is causing the issues now. And also part of that act, you will see a lot of companies now, we even send power to the grid, which we currently do not have with the old law from 2005. So the thing is, what federal government really can do in collaboration with the state government, this is going to the National Economic Council chaired by the Vice President to see, in collaboration with the state governors, how can we begin to create incentives for companies that work within, the solar space, renewable energy space? There's a lot we can do with waste to energy also. So what kind of incentive do we need to put into there and to give these companies some leverage to work on? And believe you me, manufacturing in country is at the core of all of these things that can happen for Nigeria if we are able to produce these things in country. If we have 5, 6, 7 solar manufacturing plants, assembly plants in country where we make the solar panels, where we make the batteries, where we make the charge controllers and all the components that make up the solar system, then why will it be expensive? We'll drive down the cost in the long run. And and that's the way to go. I'm hoping that will be some of the things we'll see with this new present administration.
Okay, thank you so much, Wisdom, for that. I'm sure a lot of people will be looking for you to connect them to these companies that will give them a plan that will make them own solar energy. Thank you for your time on the show this morning.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that was Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, a public affairs analyst, talking to us about alternative energy, and we zeroed in on solar energy. As we wrap up the show, let me just remind you this, or leave you with this quote. One machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men. No machine can do the work of one extraordinary man. That is according to Albert Hubbard. I hope you remember that as you go about your duties today. My name is Nyamgul Aggaji, and on behalf of the entire crew of Breakfast on Plus TV, I say have a wonderful day. Bye.